CHMA. You don't even have a microphone in hand. You don't even know where a microphone is. There it is. That yeah, that's the one you're using.
This is the mic I'm using.
Yep.
We're on. This is live.
It is live as it's going to be today. You are listening either on 106.9 FM in the Tantramar area or at www.chmafm.com.
On the internet.
That is on the internet.
Wow.
I was told that it's hard to find the play button.
On the website?
Yeah, it's at the top. But if you're listening, you probably know that. Because you found it to listen.
Or you're listening live.
Or you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever else you get your podcasts. Hey, this is Midgic Airport. We're at ground control. You are joining Air Traffic Controller Thomas. That's myself.
And Air Traffic Controller Luke nailed the prompt this week.
Yeah, you did. You know what? This is less off the rails, off the start than I thought it was going to be. Join us for the next hour as we watch the skies, listen to some tunes, chat, and we'll be done by and by. So, Luke!
Yeah, man. How about that weather?
Yeah, tell me what the weather's going to be in 3 days.
It's weathering right now.
It's weathering right now.
Folks, full disclosure, this is another pre-recorded live.
It is.
We recorded it live a few days ago.
Yeah, it's Thursday evening right now. We're going to go get some wobbly pops and fenners here in a bit. We're going to go win chicken at trivia.
Where are we going to trivia?
Duckies.
Oh.
Every second Wednesday. So we used to do it on the Wednesdays that you were unavailable. Now it's always on the Wednesday you're available.
Wow.
And by Wednesday, I mean
Thursday. You're living in the past. Perfect. Sorry, I was in a French school today, and I had just a moment of like, I thought a bichette, like the French verb book, was going to sneak out from behind a corner and attack me.
A little on edge.
Yeah, a little on edge. So the weather.
Yes.
You know, I finally, after predicting for weeks, like cool temperature and light snow, we had on a Sunday night cool temperature and light snow.
Yes.
So this time, I'm making a big ask here to the people in the weather department.
Totally.
Big snow. Cool weather.
Cool weather.
Give us some of that late January winter.
Yeah,
action.
actual snow that people go out.
That may sound like more like a request than a forecast. That's because it is.
That's fine.
Okay.
We can do whatever we want here. We also are joined by a new air traffic controller you may have been able to hear already.
The growling?
Yeah, the growling, yeah.
I can't believe we allow animals in the air traffic control tower / studio.
Yeah, I'm not going to even pretend that he is a service dog. He's not. He's just my doggo. Say hello to air traffic controller Archie. Archie, you got anything to say, buddy?
Dog breathes into mic.
He breathed into the microphone. Yeah. If I stop patting him, he might yell.
Don't encourage the quadruped.
I'm actively discouraging him. Okay.
All right.
Hey, we got a song coming up.
What's our first tune this evening?
First tune this evening is actually going to be. This is, I think, the song. If I have a last song to ever hear, it's probably this one.
Wow.
This might be my.
This is going to play you out?
Maybe. I'm not even joking. I'm starting tonight. I just re-listened to Seeds by Hey Rosetta, the album.
Uh-huh.
And
how did we get this far in and not have any Hey Rosetta?
Because I've been holding it all in my back pocket. They're like one of my favorite bands. That's why.
All right.
Yeah, so if I was stuck on a desert island for the rest of my life and only had 3 albums, Seeds would be one of them, Hey Rosetta.
Mm-hmm.
3 by Joel Plaskett.
Oh.
I know I'm a huge Maritimer. It's painful. My last one would be Random Access Memories by Daft Punk. But yeah, 2 of them. A little bit of everything. But 2 of them are straight up Atlantic Canadian classics. So we're going to go with my favorite song off of one of my favorite albums to start. This is Welcome by Hey Rosetta.
Let's hear it.
You'll be a bright light coming out of the dark. All the doctors blinking hard. You'll be lightning coming out of the storm. It's a message, it's a miracle. You do alright. can feel you and what you're gonna be. You'll be stronger, you'll be smarter than me. Oh, maybe I'll say it again. You're the most incredible thing. I'm sorry, this is it. It's cold and hard and badly lit, and there's no backing out of it. So forget where you've been. You'll never be that good again, and we must only look ahead. Soon you're 33, and everything you tried to be was pulled apart by fear and greed. But young hands that build you up, they carve your face in honest rock, or sunlight on your noble jaw. The young hands build you up, and I'm happy that you've come along. Happy that you've come. I'm happy that you've come.
Vibe from that tune that they'd put, like, I've never seen them live,
Yeah.
but tell me
Very
they're
good.
okay live.
Yeah, so I've seen...
Because once in a while you see a band that you've heard and they aren't good live.
No, they have little to no energy live.
Yes.
No, they're very good.
Sometimes it's not an energy problem either.
Yeah, that's also true, yeah. Very good live. I saw them... It was kind of like a weird, unfortunate gig the first time I saw them. It was at St. John High School, and they have a multi-hundred people auditorium.
Yes.
And this was, maybe 2010. So they had a couple albums come out, and they were pretty big, but, there wasn't even 100 people there.
Wow.
And they killed it. Even, it's hard to perform in a big empty space, and they nailed it.
Yeah, and 100 people in some spaces would seem like a lot. But
yeah. Well, I saw them in another space that probably about 100 people were in, but it was a lot smaller. And it was, just as good of a show. So it's like they brought it no matter kind of like what venue they were in, which I like.
Good to know.
Hey.
What's happening in the world of sport?
Some sport?
Some sport. Teach me about a sport. I tried a sport last night. It was painful.
Yes, you did do a sport last night.
Yeah, the old sport.
One of the old sports.
You're gonna what I guess we would call a traditional sport.
Yes, this is certainly a little bit less traditional sport. We are going and briefly just talking about the classic Tetris World Championship. So the CTWC.
Are we claiming Tetris as a sport
yes.
tonight?
So.
Go on.
The only reason I bring the CTWC up, they've been around a little bit over 10 years. They started in 2011. A few years back, their 7-time world champion passed, which is unfortunate, but that's not the news we're going into right now. We'll talk more. There's a lot of news on a lot to talk about.
Front?
Yeah. There's look, I think we're just going to we might just turn in the Tetris and chess news. instead of sports news.
But
But
I don't know. Knowing what I now know about the dynamic world of chess, politics, and drama, Tetris would have big shoes to fill.
well, I'll see if this excites you the way it excited me. This month,
Yes.
someone finally beat Tetris.
I wasn't aware that was a... How does one beat Tetris?
So, I will preface this with, until this month, no one knew you could beat Tetris.
So it's just like written into the code of the game that it could, in fact, be done, but...
So, Tetris
Mm-hmm.
has essentially... It was programmed to have like 100 levels, let's say.
Okay.
And yeah, each of them, I don't think they get like gradually. I think they get like exponentially more difficult.
Okay. That makes sense.
Anyway, so people just thought it would go on forever.
But it doesn't.
It doesn't. So there are like 9 because the Game Boy, the game that it was made for, is quite basic and limited in its visual capacity. So there was only like 9 palettes or 9 colors that it was like originally supposed to be in. So like world.
Tetris was originally developed for a Game Boy?
Yeah,
Actually?
I'm pretty sure.
All right, I'll fact check this later, but go on. Anyway, design limitations meant that there is, in fact, an end to Tetris.
Yeah, because the color palettes, like level 1 and level 11 and level 81 all look the same. Same with,
Do they use the same progression of pieces that come into the...
no.
Was it beaten because someone prices righted it and studied?
That's funny. No, it is random.
Okay.
So level 81 is going to be different every single time.
Okay, so it's not just a speed thing.
No. Now, people thought they got to another cap around like 135 and 137 because eventually, once you get up into the hundreds, the color palette corrupts. So there are 2 stages which are almost impossible to see. It's like all the shape. It's like a black background and the shapes are all dark gray, and like a brown background and all the shapes are like slightly brown with like a pink hue or something like that.
Okay.
People got around that.
Yeah.
And then people developed a new technique that I'm not going to get into to press the buttons quicker. This week, a 13-year-old finally got to a screen and the game just crashed. So there was a kill screen. Like it's done. No one can get any higher. And since then, multiple other people have gotten
to that
point and to that kill screen. But yeah, like we just got to after 30 odd years of Tetris being out.
Didn't the game creator pass like within the last few years?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. It was. I remember it came up in the news or something.
A lot of developers of these early games unfortunately are passing at this point.
That would happen based on time, I suppose.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
so Tetris has been beat.
Tetris has been beaten, and
by a few folks now.
But originally a 13-year-old who just like legitimately couldn't believe what was happening to him when it happened. Yeah.
Good for that 13-year-old though.
Killer for that 13-year-old. And 13-year-old's going to go on to, all these, world championships now and win a bunch of money, which is good for him,
There's money up for grabs.
Yes.
Competitive Tetris.
It just says there's money up for grabs for competitive whatever I talked about the other night that I already forget about.
Man.
What was the one I was talking about the other day?
That you were trying to pass off as a sport?
Yeah, it had something to do with cars. That's why I brought it up. Oh, was it Rocket League? It might have been Rocket League. Let's say it was Rocket League.
Okay, sure.
Anyway, yeah.
We're gonna play another tune. Carry
let's
us
play
into our what we're gonna hit next.
Yeah. What do you want to do?
That Avery Dakin tune. I think it's out of PEI.
Okay.
It's a catchy tune.
So here we go. Coming up by Avery Dakin.
'Cause of what's coming up right now, it's coming up right now. What's coming up until I shove it down. I fill another cup just to pour it out. What's coming up when I'm not around. That disconnected's deep set down into my bones. I'm just floating, barely finding my way home. This well is deeper than I ever wanted to know. I've gotta wade through it alone. Nowadays I'm searching for a little forgiveness for ways that I have hurt myself. Escape to places where nobody can witness. Isn't good for my health. What's coming up right now? It's coming up right now. What's coming up until I shove it down. I light another up just to snuff it out. What's coming up when I'm not around? I'm not around. I'm not around. What's coming up when I'm not around? I'm not around. I'm not around. What's coming up when I'm not around?
How about that?
How about that? That was a nice little tune.
Yeah, well, I thought it was a little more chill than your PEI bog metal.
I am bringing more bog metal back.
Yeah, I shouldn't have instigated.
No, you really shouldn't have.
Man, we were talking about books last week,
Yes.
and how sometimes you gotta switch books.
Yes.
Midway through a book
Uh-huh.
to keep things interesting. And I was given a book recently by a family member who knew that I had, like, I'll occasionally go into, I don't want to sound like too much of a romantic here, but I'd like to build a cabin someday.
Yes.
I think that's one of those things that, there's a lot of people out there that want to build a cabin.
Yeah,
So
I
when
want to build
told-
a cabin.
So when I told this family member that I want to build a cabin, they're like, well, did you ever read Walden, by Thoreau, which is
Yes.
classic English guy
Mhm.
goes and rejects modern society. I'm air quoting modern, but that doesn't work on the radio.
No, it doesn't.
Insert it yourself, folks. Use
Yeah.
the power of your mind. So I started reading Walden, and then I found I have to sprinkle something else into it. It's a little too, I'm sure it's fantastic,
Mhm.
and I'll get more into it as it goes.
Yes.
Some books are a bit of a slow burn. And I think it's important to read some classic English literature once in a while.
Yeah.
Then you can, I don't know.
Makes you understand The Simpsons more.
Man, everything I know about Shakespeare I learned from The Simpsons, and that was enough to get me through post-secondary education.
Yeah, look, complete side note, if you read American classics or just classics in general, The Simpsons and Futurama will both, the jokes.
A lot of bells will ring.
Yeah, the jokes start hitting a little bit harder.
Yeah. So anyway, in the book report this week, I am reading Walden by Thoreau, and then as a side note, I'm reading. It's not The Restaurant at the Edge of the Universe. Whatever the next Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy book is, to just switch back night to night to be like, is tonight,
and
is
how
tonight
many
junk food or
Yes.
is tonight meat and potatoes?
How many times have you read through that series?
The Hitchhiker?
Yeah.
More than 2.
I thought that might have been the answer. Yes.
No, I every few years I reread it because it's one of the few that it's and I shouldn't poop talk Hitchhiker's Guide to the
No,
Galaxy.
not at all.
There's great ideas that are played with in there, But there's also a fantastic level of ridiculousness.
Yes.
And it's still one of those books that I read and I'll find myself like actually chuckling.
Yes.
So
no, ain't nothing wrong with Hitchhike. It's just I know you have
been through it a time or two.
Yeah.
The copy is starting to get a few creases in it.
That's a sign of a well-used book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I want to listen to
some bog rock?
No, I don't have bog rock tonight. But I do have the Olympic Symphonium, which is a band out of Fredericton.
Yes.
Would you like to hear them?
Yes.
Great.
When talking out loud, please watch your mouth. Crack them all up, but don't break the yoke. 'Cause egos get bruised from words that you used. So spit them all out and try not to choke. Try not to choke. Try not to choke. Try not to choke. The voice in your head defends what's been said till the overly sensitive get over the joke. You went for the kill, high from the thrill, knowing they will get over themselves or get over the joke. Get over the joke. Get over the joke. Get
The song's called Comedy, but it's not very funny.
Well, sometimes comedy isn't funny.
I suppose you're right. Hey!
What's in the news?
I was going to ask you, what do you got for news?
Oh, man, I got some hot off the presses. We out here at the Midgic Air Traffic Control Center have our fingers on the pulse of the news vein.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, do you like fishing?
I have gone fishing, and I enjoy it.
Was it off a bridge?
It was off a bridge.
You cannot. It is illegal in the town of Sackville to fish off a bridge.
I have heard.
Okay. But now they're proposing to extend that to the entire regional municipality of Tantramar.
So you can't fish anywhere in Tantramar?
Not off a bridge. And now I understand. Like out at the old Morris Pond there, Silver Lake.
Yeah. It's a narrow bridge.
It's a narrow bridge. You probably don't want to be fishing off that one.
That's where I went fishing.
Was it off the... I don't admit to anything, allegedly, on air.
You can go. You can fish under the bridge. I went under the bridge.
You can fish under the bridge. No issue. Kick the trolls out. Anyway, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, Tantramar is a pretty big area.
Yeah.
You go like Wood Point and all that, and there's some bridges that aren't seeing a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you'd be able to, like, park your vehicle out there and throw the old fishing lure through the window, but it seems like kind of a silly rule.
I feel like
It's not actually about fishing. It's about loitering on bridges.
Which is not a problem anyone's had since the 1950s.
Like, I feel like since horses got moved to casual duty instead
Yeah.
of work duty,
Yeah.
and especially since bridges aren't covered anymore, people can't get that moment of privacy with their
significant other.
Yes.
So,
And,
like, the only way loitering on bridges would ever come back is if they, one, cover them, and two, like, install Wi-Fi in the bridges themselves. Like,
why don't Wi-Fi? Why don't have
why
Wi-Fi
don't Wi-Fi have bridges?
Why Mick's all talked up? All right, that's my news because this was before council this past week.
Yeah,
and I was skimming for important news, as one does when you work in air traffic control.
of course. Yeah, we need to know about all the bridges.
What leapt out to me was bylaws concerning bridges.
Oh, I'm glad that. Anyway, I won't say.
You heard it here first.
Heard it here first. Hey,
Maybe you heard it at the meeting.
It's true. We were gonna.
In which case, you heard it here second or third.
Last night at the, we had a little meeting of the air traffic controller people.
Yep.
And I was going to at one point get the town council highlights up. We didn't get a chance to do it, but it's important to be involved.
Yeah.
And know what's happening in your community, be it here in Tantramar or elsewhere. Hey, I was going to talk about Premier Blaine Higgs and how he's doing a bunch of fundraising.
Aww. When you say it like that, it sounds so cute.
It does sound so cute.
He's
but
doing it here, right? This is a setup.
No, he's doing it out west.
Oh, man.
He can't get fundraisers here.
So this isn't local news.
It is local news. Our premier can't get enough to fundraise here, so he's heading out west to peddle his message to people that actually want to hear it. Yeah. Justin Trudeau's in town.
Like not our town.
No, not our town. He was in St. John.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, never mind. Yeah.
He was given $10 million for future funding to housing.
Oh, that's good. We do need some housing.
Yeah. So there's the politics, but that's actually not what I want to talk about at all. What I really want to talk about is real news. That stuff is garbage.
Yeah.
I want to talk about
some important news.
Bigfoot.
Oh.
Okay.
Is this better be local?
You better believe your top dollar is. It was a recent Bigfoot hearing, not a sighting,
That seems like a stretch right off the
You know what? We're gonna listen to it here in a second.
Bigfoot. Oh no.
Yeah, I have waited so long to listen to this because I've not listened to this yet. I have waited just for you, listeners. You're gonna hear it too.
All right.
So it was just outside Shediac, New Brunswick. Someone else says, I can confirm I heard this exact sound pretty constantly for 10 minutes in woods of eastern Canada, New Brunswick specifically, last year, October 2023. So there have been 2 hearings of this sound in the Shediac region.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yep.
I didn't.
It into my ears. I am prepared.
What was that? I heard some shit there.
And this is what Bigfoot is supposed to sound like.
I have no clue what Bigfoot's supposed to sound like. That kind of sounds like wind. Oh, that part didn't. What do you think it was?
I haven't spent all that much time in the woods. Once I build my cabin and hear some more wood noises.
You'll be able to tell me?
Yeah, but I mean...
So we got some people in the comments being like, this is real. And these are all people...
It's probably a real noise.
Oh, it's definitely a real noise.
Not doubting the credibility of the noise.
No, I'm saying like this is the Bigfoot.
But to make the leap from I don't know what this noise is to...
This is Bigfoot.
That's...
Well, there are some people... There are some people in the Bigfoot, New Brunswick Bigfoot organization who are saying, I think it's a fake. The person calmly seems to have their phone ready, recording in the woods, doesn't move to check it out, doesn't go to try to find tracks. And
it's
then
a setup? Someone's trying to get big internet famous by staging Bigfoot hearings?
But then the person who actually took the video responded was like, no, I actually just took my phone out because I heard it the first time. I was already scared. You could hear that I was always scared. And the reason I didn't go look for markings or anything is because I was scared.
Well,
So there's some people that think this was a Bigfoot noise. Some people in the group, again, this is the New Brunswick Bigfoot organization.
Appreciation Society?
No organization. They have a meeting every single year.
Wow.
Last year it was here in Sackville.
Was it actually?
It was actually, yeah. It was up because the most recent sighting was up at Beach Hill Park. So they had
came to town.
Yeah, they had the meeting at Beach Hill Park last year.
What an eclectic meeting of people.
I missed it by one day. I was elsewhere, unfortunately. I was actually going to go.
I'm genuinely sorry you had to miss that.
Yeah, I would. Anyway, some people are saying it is a big cat. One of the big cats of New Brunswick.
Yes, there are some large cats.
So there are people who are like, I've heard this before. Yeah, it's just a big cat. But those are... So some people think it's Bigfoot. Some people think it's a big cat. That's my news for the week.
Thank you for bringing that to our 4 listeners.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's riveting news.
I've had a couple coworkers say that they listen now.
Oh, my.
So...
In... Other air traffic controllers.
Yes, other air traffic controllers, of course. And, yeah, I wonder how many Bigfoot questions I'm going to get now.
Oh, well, at least one, I would hope.
Oh, I would hope so, too.
All right.
Let's cue
up another tune.
That's the news for the week. Okay.
News is tremendous.
We got... Let's go with, you want like a weirder song?
Yeah, you can give me a weirder song.
Let's go with Crawly Eye by Motherhood.
There's a lot going on there musically.
Yeah. Neat little band. So that's Crawley 1 by Motherhood. Hey, Luke.
Yeah, man.
Do you have a gold star this week? Just someone you want to put a little gold star on?
Yes. And you know why? It's because I was thinking a good friend of mine today. Because he has some dietary restrictions.
Ah, yes.
He lives in a bigger town here in New Brunswick.
Yeah.
But not this town.
Of course.
And
Midgic is a big town.
Yeah, Midgic is huge.
Yeah.
The airport.
Yeah.
The cattle.
Yeah.
Couple of neighbors. What more could you want?
Nothing.
And close to Bagtown.
Very
Sackville,
close, yeah.
Tantramar.
Well, yeah, it's still...
It's part of the... Yeah, I mean, you can't fish off a bridge here.
Well, we still can, right? They haven't...
Well,
or is that...
you can, but your days are limited.
Days are numbered at this point.
Anyway, so I was thinking of that because I have a small dietary restriction. Pretty easy to dodge dairy. Like
yes.
It's well established in the food allergies department.
Yeah.
But those people with the celiac or the gluten intolerance, it's
a rough one.
It's a rough one. And we have not one but 2 bakeries here in town that'll make stuff that's gluten-free. I mean, the Cackling Goose, I think that's the core of the business. So they're getting a star.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll, tick off one little
one of
the
yeah.
And give it to Cranewood because they have a gluten-free whoopie pie that is good enough that as a person who can eat gluten, I still occasionally will get a whoopie pie. So that's the gold star.
Yeah.
7/8 distributed.
I will. Yeah, I'll put that in there
with an 1/8 distributed.
Yes,
because of a solid whoopie pie. And if you're not making changes to your life and rules based on the availability and quality of whoopie pies,
you're doing it wrong.
you gotta rethink your life.
Yeah. So yeah, Cackling Goose got 7/8.
7/8 of a gold star.
Of a gold star, and Cranewood gets 1/8 of a gold star. Yeah. Do you know who gets one giant gold star?
The whole thing?
The entire gold star. And they need it because they have not picked up their $64 million that they won almost a year ago. So I'm sure you've heard about this by now.
Unclaimed lottery ticket worth $64 million.
Yeah.
Floating around.
Just floating around somewhere up northeastern New Brunswick. There's a $64 million lottery ticket that someone has in the bottom of their purse or their loved one got and forgot about at the bottom of a grocery bag. And honest to goodness, at this point, it could have been in the washer and dryer. Yeah. But yeah, someone...
Oh, can you imagine the nerve-wracking you would do if you knew you put a lottery ticket through the washer?
Oh, my goodness. I know, right?
Like, wouldn't you just be...
And you'll never know.
No.
So, you know what? And maybe someone's just sitting on it waiting for...
Wait for that day.
Divorce to finalize or something. I don't know. I don't know why you would sit on it. That was the first thing I thought of. But...
Pretty clear path there, I think, for... Anyway. Maybe they
like living on the edge. They love tension in their lives. But yeah, my gold star is going...
Maybe they were like... Here's the little cheerier half. Thing.
Yeah.
Maybe they were an employee in their last year of employment with a fairly large pension coming.
Sure, yeah.
So that just let them walk into their employer and say, listen, I'm going to use my weeks of vacation to ride this out. And they're doing okay enough.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I know that I'm going to be all right.
Yeah.
Maybe it was questionable before, and now it's like, well, I don't need it right now, but I'll maybe quietly walk into Lotto NB and be like, you mind turning this in for a truckload of
can I get...
Did you do that for me?
Can I get it?
Kind of
an entire life-changing amount of money?
Yeah, but quietly.
Very quietly, yes.
Will they do it quietly?
No!
If you win, are you allowed to be like, can I take the quiet option?
I don't know about provinces, hilariously enough, but I know, like, in America, some states let you, and some states mandatory that's public.
Your deal that if you win, you gotta appear holding the cardboard check.
Yeah, I know in Japan they have to appear holding the cardboard check, but they can all wear masks and stuff. So in Japan, you see a lot of people like winning a lot of money with like Batman masks and stuff. Yeah, so I have no clue about Canada though. I literally don't know anyone who's ever won any money with the lottery here in Canada. So
all I know about Japan and gambling is Coyote, the boat racing that you bet money on.
That does not surprise me one bit.
No,
hey, do what you should do.
I'm afraid to ask.
Well, you should just stick right here.
Continue producing quality radio here on CHMA.
You should do that.
If you would like to listen to some other quality radio here on CHMA.
Well, that's exactly where I was going, Luke.
Tune in Tuesday at 9. Listen to Rory with Dad's vinyl collection.
Yeah.
Classic rock for a whole hour.
Nice.
On a Thursday evening.
That's great. You can also stick right here for the next 2 hours. Next Sunday at 7 p.m., we have live on KEXP, formerly known as Under the Needle. Live on KEXP brings you the very best of KEXP's world-renowned live in-studio and remote performances. Each week, we'll bring you a new live session from emerging artists to well-established acts spanning styles, genres, and cultures. Full video of all live on KEXP's performances available at youtube.com/KEXP. And of course, you can find them at kexp.org/podcast/live-on-KEXP. Right after that, we have Black Atlantic. Black Atlantic is Sunday at 8 p.m., a primarily Black Atlantic-centric podcast website and media channel, with the goal of bringing Atlantic POC voices to the world. Hosted by Clinton Davis and Hilary LeBlanc. You can check them out at www.blackatlantic.ca, and you can follow them on Spotify and on YouTube. Oh, and you can go support them on GoFundMe as well.
Whoa. Thomas, you like classical music?
I do. I played it for a very long time.
You were once in an orchestra?
I was in many orchestras.
No need to brag about it.
Oh, sorry.
Be humble.
Okay.
Some of us weren't in any orchestras. Sunday, 9 a.m.
Yeah.
2 hours. Back-to-back classic rock.
Classic rock? Hey, I like classic rock too, man. Like
back-to-back classical music jam.
Nice.
Some of your favorite composers who I'm not even going to begin to try and pronounce.
Does it say jams in the thing?
No, of course it does.
I was just sorry.
Rock jams.
No, I just thought like classical jams.
No, that's what I was going for, man. I just can't land it.
Who are the names here?
No, there's no names. I was being
son of a.
That was a joke. The show's called Allegro, though, and you can tune in. It does exist. Sunday, 9 a.m.
Well, what
everything Baroque.
Yes.
I was Baroque for years.
Man.
And all kinds of other classical music. But that kind of thing. It's really just a long setup for a terrible joke, folks.
Great. Yeah. Thanks for that. We're doing telephones, Mo Kenny.
Listen, there are songs, and we all know some songs that have a horrible moral.
Yes.
But are so catchy.
Yeah.
And this, if you graph out horrible morals to catchy tunes, and you this is way up
near the top.
The chart.
Here we go.
Yeah, but super catchy.
Here's a jam with some less than ideal morals. Here we go.
I only talk to you by telephone and rarely see you on my weekends home. I'd rather sit and watch my television shows. You know as well as me we're not in love. Can't help but think of all the times you said goodbye. Never once did you feel the need to force a cry. No, that'd be too much to ask. Movie pusher, I hate it, baby. I hate it, baby. I have a strong heart, but you play too rough. You listen to techno, I hate that stuff. At people's parties, hey, we don't say much. But we were alone together, talking like babies. I know just how to keep you in my head. If I had another lover, could I keep you on the side? by telephones. Rarely see you on my weekends home. You'd rather sit and watch the movies that you push. You know as well as me we're not in love. Can't help but think about the talk about our lives. And now you said you never had a better time. Oh, you used to make my Monday Saturdays. I hate it, baby, I hate it, baby. But when we're alone together talking like babies, I know just how to keep you in my head. If I had another lover, could I keep you on the side? And when we're alone together talking like babies, I know just how to keep you in my head. If I had another lover, could I keep you on the side? Yeah, when we're alone together talking like babies, I know just how to keep you in my head. If I had another lover, could I keep you on the side? If I had another lover, could I keep you on the side? If I had another lover, could I keep you on the side?
I have vague recollections of the music video being all stop motion for that song or something like. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember it being neat.
I have recently watched the Peter and the Wolf. There was classical song.
Mm-hmm.
All the instruments are different characters.
Yes.
And there was a 2000.
My parents used to play it for us on road trips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2006 version.
It wasn't that version then.
No, but there was a 2006 claymation version that came out that won
Some awards.
every award, like best short film, animated short film.
Yeah.
For what's the big one? Not the Golden Globes, the one that's more prestigious than that. The Oscars, yeah, the Oscar won an Oscar.
Okay.
Really, really good, and I just like
similar to getting one of our gold stars.
I think getting a gold star these days is probably better than getting an Oscar. But getting an Oscar,
exclusive.
it is a lot more exclusive.
When we're not giving out whole ones sometimes.
Yeah, when do you ever get a not whole Oscar?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't watch the Oscars. No one does. But yeah, claymation, stop-motion, that stuff is so cool and so time consuming, but so worth it because it always looks perfect.
I remember watching a video of someone who was super into cars, and he was traveling. He's like, I'm just staying here with a buddy of mine, but I want to show you what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy took him into what was almost a hangar-sized claymation studio.
Yeah.
He got it at some point. A company got bankrupt, no longer needed this. And the guy just lives up in the Pacific Northwest somewhere, and that's his livelihood. He has his house and a huge studio, and he just making claymation stuff.
That's awesome.
I always thought that because most of what I had experienced or seen would be small scale stuff, but apparently there's some larger scale stuff.
Yeah,
too.
that's dope.
Yeah,
I'll have to check that out. Hey, we were talking about a good friend Don Cherry there last week.
Oh my goodness, yes.
We were talking about his son a little bit. How he
Tim.
Yeah, Tim. He's a producer.
Producing.
There's my air quotes.
Yes.
Do you know what else he does?
Do I want to know?
No.
Oh, you gonna tell me anyway?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the straightest white man thing to do? That's right. Have a podcast.
Oh.
Like us.
Oh.
Yeah, Tim Cherry, though, he has a podcast. And
well, we're a radio show, sir.
We are a radio show, which is much cooler.
Yeah, because sometimes it's live and we can screw up badly.
Yeah, we can real mess up. And luckily we don't usually when it's live, and we do very often when it's not.
Yep.
So there's probably going to be a couple of edits here and there for this episode that you may or may not catch. But yeah, his podcast is mostly spouting off stuff his dad thinks stuff about his dad. It's literally called like Growing Up with Don Cherry or something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't actually write it down because I don't want to plug the name. And then also weirdly, like it seems to be a lot about real estate, and maybe not so weirdly, considering I was saying it looks like he does a bunch of like awful religious films, a lot of religious stuff on there as well. So it's not like a very tight focus.
Yeah, I can't imagine being on a show where your focus isn't very tight.
No, not at all.
Thanks for listening in and learning, folks. I think this is our first week without banjo, so I will make a commitment next week to come back with maybe some banjo or some ukulele or, some
mandolins, just some like higher pitched string instruments. Yeah.
Nothing with a bow, though. You won't find that on...
Oh, fiddles. Yeah, you will. We have had fiddles on here all the time.
Make a clearly something statement.
Well,
anyway.
We're not clearly anything. We're more all over the place than Tim Cherry. Hey, thanks for listening. Thank you, CHMA, for hosting and broadcasting. Check them out at chma.com and at CMHA or CHMAFM on all the socials. Check out MidgicAirport.com. Visit our merch store, which actually exists, Luke.
How was I supposed to know it wasn't a fake merch store or that it existed?
You've never been to the website, have you?
We have a website?
I say it every single show. Check out MidgicAirport.com.
On the internet?
Yeah, we have an actual website, dude.
Fantastic.
With a real merch store.
Welcome to the world of
My
tomorrow.
goodness, bud.
Thanks for listening, folks. Give yourselves a great evening.
No, I'm not done the thing.
Thanks for listening, folks. You have yourselves a great evening.
Give us a shout out on all the socials at Midgic Airport, except on X, formerly known as Twitter, which we are at Midgic_Airport. Check out our new gaming channel at Midgic Airport. You really just tuned out.
Is that on the internet too?
Yes, you completely tune all of this out every week, don't you? Like you don't even hear any of it.
I'm so happy you're so worked up.
Where there are daily uploads, you can catch myself and Sean and Jay playing Pokemon Red. Finally, if you miss an episode, you can catch it anywhere you get your podcasts, like Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Thanks for listening, folks. You have yourselves a great evening.
I'm exasperated.